To be honest with you, I'm still lost, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm coming out, I'm sinking, swimming, you know, just trying to keep my head above water. My girl's no longer my girl. My car's no longer my car. Right now, just eating's a struggle, bud. You know what I mean? So I had money in the bank and all that shit, and it all got when I was down. Discover had someone rented a U-Haul on my credit card, and they couldn't break into the U-Haul, so they had lit it on fire. So now U-Haul is charging me $14,800 for the U-Haul. Yeah, they fucked that car up good. I don't know who it was or who rented what U-Haul, but it's all falling onto me because that was the card that whoever did whatever with it, you know. These are really just my pajamas, guys. You know, you want to hear how I got these? So I like to flow with gratitude, man, because no matter what, even if you're broke or whatever, gratitude will keep you flowing through life, you know, and I'm running short on that too, man, you know. I had to set aside any embarrassment, any shame, any guilt, and just come up and just go, look, I'm a product of my environment, you know what I mean? I did this time, I paid my debt to society, I came out here and I started to make a life for myself, and then I bit myself in the ass again. You know what I mean? If I had just stayed in my own lane and been like, oh, well, you know what I mean? But I couldn't do that, bud, you know what I mean? And I've asked myself a million times, knowing what I know today, would I have still gone to defend this person? And the answer has always been yes. So I live with that. However many years I've been out in the storing, and you know, I had a pretty, you see my pad, man, I had a sick pad. Yeah. I had every toy a boy could want, you know what I mean? 80-inch TV, scooters, yeah, you know, Toyota Camry.
No, you were kicking ass, bro.
And had I not been using at the time, I probably would have come up with a different conclusion as to how I would have handled things. Let's just say it like that, you know? But with me using at the time, being clouded, angry at everything, I was moving, I was just angry. So things probably would have been different, you know? That was that. So here we go again, you know, I've been out for a long time, you know, and here I find myself back in going through reception down at the county, find myself in minor withdrawals. Yeah, not good, man. Just not where I wanted to be again. You know, life, the value of life at that particular moment was zero. The county jail isn't what it once was. It just absolutely, positively is not what it once was. And I found myself sort of like a fish out of water there. You know, I didn't know the rules. Now I went by old school rules. I stuck to that. You know what I mean? 100%. However I lived in there before, that's how I live there now. And that's not how it is now. You'll see blacks eating with the whites and the Mexicans, and you'll see all this stuff. And I couldn't do that still, you know what I mean? And not that I'm racist or anything along those lines, but just that's what was instilled in me when I was young, you know, doing all that time. It was instilled in me, you don't do this, you don't do that. And I forced myself to live by that, you know, and it made me the odd duck, you know, like everybody's doing what they're doing when they're spreading, and I threw in. I'd tell them, hey man, you got to break mine off before you feed everyone else. I was laying down my own rules, you know what I mean? Like, because I just couldn't do what they were doing. And it's not because I was scared of what anyone would say, because everyone seemed to be doing it. It was because I couldn't have lived with myself, because I was taught a certain way. This is how you jail. You don't do these things. So we're getting fed shit. Our food's coming in cold. It's coming in short. It's coming in, and it just ain't coming in, basically, right? So we all bullshit, and they come in for count. They're getting ready to come in for count. We decide, fuck them. They ain't coming in. not let them come in. You know what I mean? You can't fuck up their count, man. You fuck up their count, there's gonna be problems, right? So you're gonna get attention. Let's just say it that way. So they start to come in. We fucking push there's a table over there, checkers table. Push the checkers table over there and said, "Get the fuck out of here! You ain't coming in here for count." And the cops like, "What? Ain't nobody stuttered. You guys come in here. There's gonna be big problems. There's 2 of you and 127 of us." That gets attention, you know what I mean? They run outside, they call their fucking sergeant, which it trickles upstairs, The sergeant comes over there and he's like, "What's going on? What's going on is you guys are fucking feeding us cold food. You guys are feeding us short. You're doing us dirty. And we got no ventilation in here. This pipe is leaking feces. You guys don't give a shit. Well, guess what? If you come in here again, you're gonna give a shit. You know what I mean? Like we had all agreed, had they come in, we're taking off on them. And I'd say there's about 6 of us that were really with the business at the time that would have got these guys enough air in their drawers to fucking back us up. But they were like, "Oh no." So the cops, you could talk to them any old way you want to nowadays, bro. Like, fuck you, punk, step aside. I've seen all that shit go on, man. Like, I still wouldn't do that unless you had it coming. I'm not gonna disrespect you as an individual, you as a sheriff, you as a person, whatever. If you're not disrespecting me, I'm not gonna disrespect you. But they were just disrespecting him left and right. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, back in my day, this would have never gone on. They're soft as cotton, man. You know what I mean? Like, there's no more squatting and coughing and all that shit that you used to do back in the day. You don't do any of that. Now when they come in, they think they're hard. They got 2 guys that been to the gym twice this month, and they got their little fucking BB gun or whatever, a paintball gun that shoots pepper spray or whatever it is. I don't know what. I wasn't trying to find out either, to be honest with you, but that's the extent of it. That's how hard they get. They ain't stripping you down. They ain't making you squat and cough every time you come back from court. It was crazy, man. Like, I just didn't understand it. But like I said, their attitude's still shit until you push back. And you can push back, and guess what? So, dude, a couple houses down from us, he was gassing the cops, you know what that is, right? Fucking bag of shit, bag of piss, checking them out at him, whatever. And they were telling him, come out. And he's like, "Fuck you, come in." I mean, like, they brought mental health up there. Then, all of a sudden there's 30 like mental health workers and fucking cops. And the cops are like, "I'm not going near that cell. Can you smell that cell?" Because, dudes in there rubbing shit on the walls and just doing what J-Cats do, and it was atrocious. I was 3 cells away, man. That shit smelled so bad, it wasn't even funny. But they're coming in there like, "Sir, what can we do? Can we get you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? What are we gonna have to do to get you to come out?" Back in the day, they would have been like, "Look, motherfucker, if you don't come out, we're cracking the cell and we're all coming in." I mean, they wanted nothing to do with that. Their threats were minor compared to his threats, and I believed him more than I believed them. I don't know, it was just funny, man. I'm seeing how these cops are today, and I'm like, man, you couldn't do a pull-up if your life depended on it. And I would tell them shit like that. So I started this thing, when they come in to do their count, I'd be like, "Enemy walk-in." You know what I mean? They're like, "Huh?" "Yeah, enemy walk-in." So other people started doing it. You know what I mean? They're like, "Hey, enemy walk-in." Well, I had mentioned Corky earlier, that fucking, he came on and he goes, "Hey, Badge, we got wine kicking off. He goes, I'm not telling you what to do because, I know you're going to do what you want, but we got all these things. We don't want them coming in here." I go, "Check it out, stupid. It don't take nothing for them to come in here. If they want to come in here, they're coming in here." I go, "If you're asking me to back off on saying that, I will." You know what I mean? As long as you're not telling me to.
The LA County Jail is run by the LA County Sheriff's Department.
Correct.
And the sheriffs, you have to do 2 years in a county
Minimum,
facility.
yeah. With all the overtime.
Right.
So, and the cops are hating that, you know what I mean? Like, some of these guys are young men trying to have families and shit, you know what I mean? And they're having to work, anywhere from a 72-hour work week to a 96-hour work week. You know what I mean? When they were signing up for, a little overtime, make a little bit of cash, whatever. But when they're being forced to do this overtime, and, Sancho's coming over right after they leave and boning their wives, no wonder they're coming to jail mad. And I honestly believe that that's what's going on, you know? Like the wives signed up for like, oh, he's making good money, you know what I mean? And I'll get to spend it when he's not around. So I believe the majority of them are spending it on gangsters while they're working for it, you know? And the cops are sour about it. So.
Did anyone recognize you from your Heavy Hitters show on YouTube?
So, oddly enough, it wasn't the first person that had brought the channel to me was an inmate. I'm walking down the hall, and I was coming back from medical, and I hear, OG Badger. And I turn around, and all it is cops, right? And I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? So I like, because at first I was going to keep pushing, you know what I mean? And I thought, all right, well, I'm not going to just ignore somebody. So I turn around, and it's only cops. So, and I look, and I think I catch who said it. You know what I mean? So I ended up using that to my advantage, though, you know, like, to one cop, I'm like, so, hey, have you caught the show? And he's like, yeah, I seen you, man. Like, I respect what you do and shit. I'm like, well, obviously not, because I ain't been to vending in a week. You know what I mean? Like, I'll play my little whatever I can get out of you thing, you know? So there was that cop, and then that cop just told some fucking other sheriff, you know, hey, that dude's fucking wah, wah, wah. So by now that, you know, like I'm a celebrity on the floor, quote, quote, whatever, I got this cop hitting on me. You know what I mean? That's a no-no in my book all the way, too. But she's coming to get me. She's going out of her way to come get me, to take me to medical or to take me to wound care. And I'm like, so I bring up, you know, I wrote out a sex letter to my girl, you know, I mean, to Harry. She's not my girl, but like I wrote out a sex letter to her, and I spelled the word wrong, and she brought it to my attention.
Oh, jeez.
You know, she goes, fucking, man, you know how to put that shit down. And I go, I'm like plexed up. I don't know what to say. I'm a little embarrassed. And I go, yeah, well, I feel that way towards one individual, you know what I mean? Like she's the only one whose panties I'd want to sniff or whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever it was, you know what I mean? I was like, so I'm trying to get her to get out of my jock, you know what I mean? Because it's starting to be apparent that she's coming to get me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I got him. You know what I mean? So, and I told Harry, I go like, yeah, this cop fucking Erica. I'm on a first name basis with her. You know what I mean? I'm getting to go to vending when I want. Fucking, I used it halfway to my advantage, but
Was
then
she
like,
cute?
she had a green uniform on. She was fucking ugly as hell. Sorry, bud. You know what I mean? That's all I see is the uniform. It doesn't matter how beautiful she could have been or would have been or whatever. I see the uniform and it does nothing for me.
That's a no-go.
I'm sorry. You know what I mean? That's the only answer I can come up with. But had I not known she was a cop, yeah, hell yeah, I'd handle that shit. But knowing she's a cop, it's just like the uniform does nothing for me.
It's kind of a turnoff for me.
Right. It's like there's beautiful German Shepherds. I don't want to hump one of them either, you know. So I got moved. So I got moved all the way over to the 7,000 floor, right from 5,200 to the 7,000 floor. Well, she's picking up overtime over there. She came over there, man, and I was like, now I'm starting to get creeped out a little bit, you know, and I was like, hey, Harriet, fucking, this is what's up. And Harriet's like, I'm fucking coming down there, you know what I mean? You know, it was nice to hear Harriet fucking want to fend back, but it started to be a little uncomfortable because she came over there twice for, the first time she ended up over there was like a fluke luck or whatever. She got overtime and it was on that floor. And then the second time she's like, so yeah, I seen that shift was open over here and I thought I'd come over and kick it with you. And I'm like, what do you mean kick it with me? It's like, you got shit really twisted. I said it in a lot politer way than I'm saying to you. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to keep things semi-friendly so that it didn't come back and bite me in the ass. Because, you know, if they're 1 minute they're on your team, the next minute, you know, you're hanging yourself in the shower, you know? So, and I wasn't really up for that. But I was like, hey, like, you read that letter and you interpreted what you interpreted, but like that letter was meant for one individual, and that's how I feel that towards that individual. I'm like not seeking to ever go anywhere else, you know what I mean? And just saying what I could say in the politest way without pissing her off. Does that make sense? Because as much shit as she's putting on, much effort as she's putting in to be around me, you know what I mean? Because like, she's like, you're funny, you're fucking, you know, like, I'm like, funny how, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, it was getting uncomfortable for me. Does that make sense?
With the white boy get down, is it a no-no to have an affair with a CO or a jailer? Like,
did you not hear the enemy walking part?
right.
Okay. Yeah, it's a no-no, bro. Yeah. You want to fuck a school teacher? You want to, you know what I mean, some free staff of some sort? That's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I remember I was in a certain institution, right? And homeboy's boning a cop. You know what I mean? He's one of ours. And I was like, cool, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, I'm giving them a list of what I want to have sent to.
Cell phones, everything.
No, cell phones weren't really popular back then in there, but, you know, BC, bro, before Christ, you know what I mean? So I'm giving them a list of what shit I want, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, I'm going to get this shit sent to her pad and you're going to have her bring it in. And you're like, you know, he's balking, and I'm like, you're going to do this or we're going to stab the fuck out of you. And you're like, quit playing, you know, he seriously thought I was playing. And I'm like, oh boy, don't tell me you're doing this for love, you know what I mean? Like, or for the gash, that's just out, you know what I mean? Like, if you made it to where you're getting in with a CO, then, you know, it's all about making the paper from that point. You know, she's gonna bring us shit or you're gonna pay the price. And I told him, you know, if you think I'm kidding, just bring your shit to next unlock. And he thought I was kidding, you know, and that was a long time ago. But, you know, like, yeah, we don't fuck around with the uniform, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something we're supposed to do. It's not something I would want to do. And if you are, let's say you're slick enough, and there are plenty of dudes in there that could pull them. You know what I mean? Most of them are trailer park trash before they get that job. And, you know, they got some stud fucking paying attention to her, even though she's homely as hell. You know what I mean? Then she needs to be doing shit for us. She needs to be on our team. You know what I mean? Not their team. She needs to be on our team, bringing shit that we need. You know, that's just how that should go. You know what I mean? I didn't make that rule, but I certainly believe in it.
Right. Was county hitting?
So no, not the way you're suggesting. So like where I was at, it was like one of the first places they would come when you first come in. You know what I mean? If you were going to the hospital, it was one of the places you would come when you first come in. So, you know, dudes put some shit in the glove box or something, would come in, and, you know, I thought we came up one time when I was there, because I'm not going to lie, I tried getting high when I was in there, when I first got there. Actually, it took getting high for me to realize I didn't want to get high anymore, you know what I mean? So, dude comes in and goes, hey man, I need a glove and some toilet paper. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I got you. You know what I mean? I'm thinking right away, he's got a nice claw, you know what I mean? And he had like maybe a half a gram, you know what I mean? I'm like, you went to the hoop with all that, I would have snorted that back in the Van Nuys substation, you know what I mean? So, there was, you know, a shard about the size of a fraction of a fingernail sells for about $100. You know what I mean? Not even a line, you know, not even what you would consider a line. It sells for about $100. You know, if somebody does come in, you know, usually you got their car gets at them first, so then they break off their issue to them, and then whatever they're stuck with, we end up finessing out of them, whatever, you know, like purchase a little, finesse a little, you know how it goes. So you get what you want, but it wasn't steady hitting, if that's what you're asking, no.
Right. So,
on occasion, something would trickle through.
Right. And you mentioned you were making some really nice OG Badgers hard lemonade in there.
So, yeah. So it's all changed. You're not getting juices. So the orange juice it's homogenized now. It's got vitamin D in it and all this. So you can't make wine out of orange juice anymore in there. Just not going to work. I paid $10 for like a grip of bananas and some jellies. I think I got like 400 jellies, and you know I got 70-something bananas, and I kicked off a batch, you know, and just my luck. You know, I carry that buzzard luck sometimes. They're having dog training day. And they bring the dog in, you know what I mean? And it's an ugly little mutt. It looks like a Cocker Spaniel or something. And someone goes, what kind of dog is that? And I go, it's a fucking Rottweiler. What does it look like? You know what I mean? And the dog comes over to me once. Now the shit's in a box underneath my bed. I can smell it. The dog can smell it for sure. You know what I mean? Like I'm just waiting for the lieutenant or the sergeant to smell it. But the dog comes over to my bunk area once. He's, you know, takes off. And then he comes back. I'm like, you fucking rat. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And I start petting the dog and shit. You know what I mean? Like, don't play with the dog. I'm like, man, he's coming over here to me. You know what I mean? Like, he likes me. So the dog took off. He didn't fucking point to the alcohol or anything. But yeah, another day and a half when we drank fucking Badger's hard lemonade. You know.
And that was a big hit in county, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, man! Everyone was like, "Hey, can you batch for me?" Like the blacks were like, "Hey, can you batch for us?" And I don't want to batch in my bed, especially, but my alcohol had people in there laughing, fighting. You know what I mean? Like all that shit. The only time that we had any good fights in there was when we had fucking some Badger's hard lemonade going on. You know what I mean? Like, I give you a gallon of pure. You know what I mean? And depending on what ethnic background you're from, you'll take it in the shower and you'll add a gallon to it, or you'll add a half a gallon to it, whatever. I mean, you're gonna go in there and cut the shit because I make some good alcohol, you know, in period. And they were like, hey, we cook for us. And I'm like, man, I ain't cooking no more. It's a fucking headache. I gotta get up, I gotta burp it. You know, I was just making it for myself in the little car I was kicking it with the first time.
It was your private reserve.
Yeah,
right?
that's what you call some steel reserve, Badger's reserve, right? So I didn't want to go getting all back into jailing, if that makes sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got there, I made a piece. Some dude was watching me make the knife, and I'm like, fucking, man. And I'm looking around, I'm going, do I even need a knife?
The good news is that you have a sober base right now.
It's because I can't afford drugs. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
You've helped so many people. Like some of the comments read like, man, Badger, your life story inspired me to kick dope. You know, everyone had an emotional connection to you.
My audience, like, not usually, always, if nothing else, if I never get anything else from my audience except for their positive shit, man, I'm so grateful for that. Because without that, I would have gave up. You know what I mean? Like, I have to go into my comments from time to time. And like I said, there could be 99 solid comments, and then there's always that one that just gets under my skin, you know? But I'm so grateful for the ones that just, like, have nothing but, hey, bro, you know, thank you for telling us the truth that you were using. And, well, of course, you know what I mean? I owe you that, so you're my friend.
Here's the good news. The good news is that you are now getting the jumper cables out, and you're turning heavy hitters back on. And that's exciting, bro.
Yeah. It was something, you know, Sandman had suggested, you know, like, it's never been about you, but it's about them. And I was like, all right. Because I was like so hesitant about putting that first video up that I put up recently. He said, it's never been about you, it's been about them. And I was like, you're right, bud, you're right.
What's the direction of Heavy Hitters now? What direction are you taking it?
So the channel, as long as I run it, it's going to be my channel. It's always going to be towards helping someone stay focused on just doing that, keeping your head above water. And sometimes it takes a village, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes we got to set aside pride and ego, and you know, we all got to rally up and do what we got to do. And when you see the people that do that, you know, it makes life struggles a little bit less. It's not quite the struggle that it was when you started out in the morning, you know. And I'm so grateful to the people that, like I said, even just leave a positive comment, man. That's better than $2 sometimes, you know.
Right.
So trying to get my glasses, get my teeth back. Trying to do all those things right now, and I got so much of the apple that I need to bite into that it's hard to take a bite at all. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where to start. You know what I mean? So I just got to write down on paper. I got to do what I would suggest to my audience. You know what I mean? Like, focus on what comes first. And, I mean, do the right thing, the next indicated right step, and everything will fall together.
Badger, we want to thank you for coming through, brother. We love you, and it's great to see you before us, bro.
Respect.